Hello, and welcome to On It with Stevens Life. I'm Leslie Nilsson.
And I'm Angel Mendez. Looking at news around Stevens, this weekend campus will host the past and the present, bringing in former students for the Alumnae Weekend event.
On It's Danny Kelly details all this weekend's events, including where students might find time to meet with alumni. Danny?
Thanks, Leslie. That's right. Alumni Weekend is happening right now. In fact, it began yesterday morning with registration for all of our visiting Susies from years past. Now, you may have seen them roaming around campus as they have been invited to sit in on favorite classes. Today, there have been many more activities going on, including the historical presentation, costume archive tour, and the music department tour. Tomorrow, there will be another exciting day of events. There will be a chance to sit in on the President's State of College address, which will happen from 10 to 11:30 a.m. in the Mecklenburg Playhouse. That will be a good event for those who are not alumni because there will be, that's where President Diane Lynch will talk about how things are at Stevens and where the college is headed. Following the President's address, there will be a campus sing performance at the same location, and many alumni will be attending the fashion show, taking part in the festivities in Windsor Auditorium at various times throughout the day. It'll be very busy, so be sure to secure your ticket beforehand. Now that we have the location of where the alumni will be, it is easy to find them and connect. If only there were tips on how to network with these alums. Back to you at the news desk.
Thank you, Danny. Some of the events started off early this week. Yesterday, one alumni met the students one-on-one.
And On It's Tyler Polson went to that meeting and talked with some Stevens alumni. And Tyler, what did you learn?
Alumni share great tips on the do's and the don'ts on an interview. Things to avoid. When answering questions, try to refrain from giving vague answers. Avoid using filler words such as and like. Make sure not to talk too much. Giving too much information may come back to haunt you. Make sure you do your research on every company you're pursuing. Be sure to dress appropriately for the profession you're entering. Arrive at least 5 minutes early and prepare questions to ask them. Asking the prospective employers questions about the position and/or the company shows that you are very interested in the position and you are prepared for the interview. Follow up the interview with a handwritten thank you note. With these tips, it will make sure you have a great first impression on any interview you go on. I'm Tyler Polson, back to the news desk.
Thank you, Tyler. And Stevens College will finalize the selling of the Hillcrest and Old Auditorium properties this June to the Hagen Scholarship Foundation. President Diane Lynch said the idea of selling the properties has been a part of a right-sizing opportunity that the school has considered for 2 years.
Lynch also says Stevens did not have to sell the properties, but made a business decision to instead invest in the time and money in the buildings more important and highly used on campus. According to her, the properties showed strong interest from student housing developers. They received an unsolicited offering of $8 million for the Hillcrest property, but Lynch said they turned it down. Because they wanted the property to house neighbors who would best use the property and complement Stevens campus on a long-term basis. The foundation has built boarding schools in 10 states that house high-achieving junior and senior high school students from rural communities, allowing them to earn college credit early under a full-ride scholarship at the academy.
That's right, and the foundation purchased the property for an undisclosed amount and will begin demolition this summer to construct residential housing and classrooms on the Hillcrest side. The other side, the auditorium side, will house a park until the foundation decides whether they want to expand the academy's campus or build professional office buildings. Now, on Monday, the City Council approved a rezoning request for that property that will restrict the land use only to the construction of those buildings related to the academy. Now, obviously, there's a lot of transition and movement around campus, and Stevens' neighborly downtown district seems to be taking the same steps.
I agree. Honest, Jessica Langford found the newest faces in the storefronts downtown. So Jessica, what's new to the district?
There's plenty. We have so much to look forward to with all the changes happening downtown. A new country venue called Nash Vegas is located on 10th and Broadway. If you're looking for some good food, drinks, and a variety of country music, then this is the place you need to go. This is a lot closer to Stevens than Whiskey Wild is, giving you a bigger country venue and a shorter commute. Also new to hit the scene is Muse, a clothing store. It has replaced the Blackberry Exchange store and has a whole new vibe. Go check out some amazing jewelry, new trends, and some unique items that you won't get anywhere else. And if you're looking to bring out an inner kid in you, there's no better place to go than Gunther Games, which is located at 923 East Broadway. With the feel of the old school arcade, you're sure to have tons of fun with family and friends. There's a lot more coming downtown, so keep your eyes peeled and we'll keep you updated. Back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. With only a short amount of time left in the semester, students will need to visit those stores soon.
That's if they have time. Some Stevens seniors placed the final touches on their capstone pieces before graduation, and on its Emily Minnemeyer found 2 seniors with unique projects. Emily?
Senior fashion communication major Hillary McBride designed a survival guide to Stevens College for her capstone. McBride spent roughly 285 hours designing the whole layout of the guide and writing the copy. She said the 2 biggest challenges involved choosing how to word the information in the guide and avoiding repetition in the layout of the pages. Senior psychology major Sarah Heckman is researching test anxiety and how it decreases test performance for her capstone. Unlike McBride, Heckman has yet to complete her capstone, spending merely 5 hours on the project so far. Heckman conducted an experiment with a control group and an experimental group, showing the experimental group a YouTube video that frightened the viewers right before taking a 30-second digit symbol coding test. Her test results showed that the group that watched the video before the test scored much lower, proving Heckman's hypothesis correct. Heckman said the most difficult part of her capstone project was finding people to participate, and then organizing her paper to explain her project. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thank you, Emily. Now, depending on the student's major, the type of capstone will vary. And for fashion design students, capstone involves designing and creating from scratch an entire line of clothing to showcase in Stevens' annual fashion show.
That is just crazy. On its Haley Johnson brought in a few designers to talk on the show today. We'll send it over to her now to preview tomorrow's fashion show. Haley?
Thanks, guys. Joining me today, I have 3 junior design majors, Melinda Fittig, Chelsea Russell, and Ariana Jamie. I'm curious to know from all of you your inspiration, as well as your favorite designer and one word you'd use to describe your aesthetic. Melinda?
All right. My inspiration was Helmut Lang. My favorite designer is Christian Siriano, and one word to describe me would be sleek.
And for mine, my inspiration was Stella McCartney and Banana Republic. My favorite designer is Marc Jacobs, and to describe me would be structured.
I see that.
My jacket was inspired by Celine, and my design aesthetic is clean and simple, and my favorite designer has to be Chanel.
Oh, I like that. Well, thank you for taking time out of your hectic schedules to be here today. And for everyone else, make sure that you check out the fashion show tomorrow. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Haley. Those all looked really great. Well, coming up, we'll break down the latest in the tragic Boston Marathon bombing.
Plus, we'll have an updated look on your weekly weather forecast. That's all coming up right after this. Welcome back. Looking at news around the world tonight, tragedy struck one of the biggest marathons in the world.
What officials deemed terrorism, the bombings at the Boston Marathon affected more than the bystanders and the participants running the 26.2-mile race. Millions of people across the nation watched with heavy hearts from their home the footage of those crossing the finish line with bombs exploding mere feet away. More than 175 people injured, some still in critical condition, 3 reported dead, including 8-year-old Martin Richard, whose mother was seriously injured, and 6-year-old sister lost a leg. On Wednesday, media reports claiming police had arrested a suspect in the case were later told to be false. Thursday afternoon, however, police officials released the security footage showing 2 men of interest in hopes that the mass public would be able to identify the 2 and give the police a lead on their location. In a series of events last night, starting at 10 p.m., the 2 suspects robbed a gas station, fatally shot an MIT campus security officer, and carjacked an SUV. Eventually, the 2 were at a standoff with police before one of the suspects stepped out of the vehicle with an IED strapped to his chest. Police shot that suspect, but the second suspect drove away, running over the shot suspect and killing him. The 2 suspects, Johar Sarniev and Tamerlan Sarniev, are brothers of Chechen origin. Johar is currently at large while Boston remains on lockdown. Officials do not know whether the bombings are a plot from a foreign terrorism cell or if the 2 acted as lone wolves. Of course, the story will continue to develop overnight and over the weekend, so be sure to check in with local and national media sources for the latest details.
With North Korea threatening to fire nuclear weapons, Secretary of State John Kerry is reassuring Kim Jong-un that if North Korean leader makes the first move to abandon his nuclear weapons program, the U.S. is ready to reach out and help. But the leader will need to take a few steps. One in particular would be a public commitment for denuclearization. This is a very hopeful suggestion to North Korea, and if this happens, they will be taking great strides in avoiding a worldwide nuclear war. So not only do we need to worry about it raining nuclear missiles, but after this past week, we have to worry about April showers.
Well, maybe not. Onyx Lane Wallace is tracking the showers and some warming temperatures in her first full weekend forecast. Lane?
It might not feel like it today, but spring is finally here. Puxatomi Phil still lied to us, but I guess we can forgive him. Your high for today is 53 and partly cloudy. Expect to warm up this weekend with a high Saturday of 64 degrees and partly cloudy. Sunday will reach a high of 64, and for your last week of classes, expect to see highs in the mid-60s. Perfect weather to study outside. New Yorkers are starting their weekend off in rain gear. The high today is 68 with a 20% chance of rain. They'll cool down Saturday with a high of 58 and a 20% chance of rain, and on Sunday they'll cool down even more with a high of 55 and sunny. Let's all be glad we're not in Chicago this weekend. The high for today is 46 with a 20% chance of rain. Saturday, they'll warm up to a high of 49 and partly cloudy, and Sunday, they'll end on a high note with a high of 58 and partly cloudy. Residents of Los Angeles better break out those bikinis and start working on their tans this weekend. The high for today is 84 and sunny. Saturday, they'll cool down with a high of 78 and sunny, and on Sunday, they'll reach a high of 72 and sunny. Some of Steven's furry friends have been enjoying this week's rainy weather. Henry from Jefferson City spent most of his week napping. Roxy from Chicago keeps her ears perked for the next roll of thunder. And finally, Teddy from Kansas City keeps dry in his bright yellow raincoat while out and about. I can't wait to spend more time with my dogs after finals. Back to you.
Those are very cute dogs.
Right.
Well, we'll have a breakdown in celebrity gossip this week. Criticism surrounds a racy single released by singer Ray J. Who's it about?
And we know you love deals. We'll set out the list of the best student discounts that you're missing. That's all coming up after the break.
Harlem Shake.
Well, Bieber doesn't seem to stay out of the news, and Ray J, what was he thinking?
I don't know. Onyx Colby Elliott lays out all the details in this week's craziest celebrity news. Colby?
Justin Bieber recently visited the Anne Frank house in the Netherlands and was really inspired by the visit. He was quoted leaving a comment in the historical site's guest book saying that he hoped Frank would have been a believer. Surprisingly, the media and other outlets are not giving him as much backlash as he has been receiving lately, allegedly spitting on a neighbor and criticizing the paparazzi. Many say that he meant no harm and he was even culturing his believers on Anne Frank. R&B singer Ray J released a single titled I Hit It First. The song is to be rumored about his pregnant ex-girlfriend Kim Kardashian. Social media went crazy as they bashed the artist for his childlike behavior. When radio station Hot 97 asked him about the song, he said, "It's just a song and it shouldn't be taken so seriously." Sure, Ray J, whatever helps you get over your heartbreak. Finally, Queen Bee kicked off her Mrs. Carter World Tour on April 15th in Serbia. The highly anticipated tour did not disappoint, with Sasha Fierce performing hits such as Run the World, Halo, and Single Ladies. The tour continues until August with stops in London and Sweden. That's the Celebrity Rundown. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Colby. Well, for our do-it-yourself project of the week, you might want to take notes.
True. On it, Sam Gary demonstrates how to make your own makeup board. Sam, what materials are we going to need?
Hi guys, to create a makeup board straight from Pinterest, all you'll need is a metal panel from a hardware store. This one's about $7. Then you paint it with spray paint, any color. Edge it out. You can put a border on it or just leave it how it is. Then you take your makeup, cut a little strip of magnets. They can find them at the dollar store for about $1. Peel the back off or glue it down. And then stick it on your board. That's it. Hang it on your wall. Find your favorite lipstick right before class or just a night out. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Sam. DIY projects, creative, easy, and always save people money.
Yeah, speaking of saving money, on its Olivia Odell found hidden deals made specifically for students. Olivia, give us the details.
Thanks, guys. With the economy in a recession and most households under a tight budget, finding clothes that fit under the budget umbrella can be hard. In college, discretionary income is kind of hard to come by. Retailers understand this economic stance and offer a lot of student discounts. Just flash student ID and let the savings begin. In college, women like to dress nice, whether it's going to a party or to that really important interview. But clothes on a budget are essential. Clothing stores that offer 10% discounts are Goodwill, Steve Madden, Topshop, Urban Outfitters, Charlotte Russe, and ASOS. Clothing stores that offer 15% discounts are Target, Online, Eddie Bauer, J. Crew, Juicy Couture, The Limited, and Taylor Loft, Banana Republic, and New York & Company. Restaurants that offer discounts are Chipotle, you can receive a free drink with the purchase of any meal, Subway, Burger King, Arby's, McDonald's, Buffalo Wild Wings all offer 10% discounts. These are just a handful of stores around the city. Check out local stores and see what you can find. They probably won't have these discounts posted because they're trying to save money as well. Go out there, find those discounts, and happy savings. Back to you guys.
Pick up some of those discounts for sure. Thank you, Olivia. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for watching our 8th episode of the semester. Be sure to check back next week for more news.
And don't forget to visit our website for 24-hour access to your news at stevens.edu/stevenslife. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Stevens_life. I'm Leslie Nielsen.
And I'm Angel Mendez. We'll see you back here next week. Was produced by the Advanced News Writing and Production and Advanced Studio Production classes at Stevens College through the collaboration of Columbia Access Television and the Schools of Interdisciplinary Studies and Organizational Leadership and Strategic Communication.